What you're about to see are some of the best Five Nights at Freddy's fan-made animatronics, who materialized into real life by these fantastic creators.
But how did they create them? What challenges did they face? And most importantly, what inspired them to bring them to life?
Luz and I have spent weeks researching and interviewing these innovative creators from around the world, so you can check them out.
And who knows, maybe you'll be inspired to be the next creator to bring a FNAF animatronic to life. Take it away, Will.
BioMakers. In a world where tech meets art, many names stand out, and one of them is BioMakers Industries, created by Jonathan Bazan. Jonathan is an expert in biomedical engineering and AI. His work isn't just about machines, but about bringing imagination to life. Since he was a child, he was fascinated by combining the natural with the mechanical. So he created BioMakers as a way to realize this dream. And from the beginning, it was set to change the world of animatronics. Excuse the interruption, but it seems Springtrap is trying to track us and steal our channel to keep his secrets hidden. However, this is nothing new, as there are all sorts of creeps out there trying to steal information and run scams. What Springtrap doesn't know is that we're fully protected against any leaks and malware thanks to our sponsor, NORDVPN. NORDVPN not only safeguards your online privacy, but also helps you bypass content censorship. For example, we'll be on vacation when the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie premieres on Peacock streaming. Thanks to NordVPN, we can bypass geolocation restrictions and enjoy the movie on day one. The good news is that we have an excellent deal for the Duck Squad. You can try NordVPN risk-free for 30 days and get an additional 4 months for free by using the link you see on the screen, in the pinned comment, and in the description. Don't be like Springtrap. Use our link. Now, back to the video. We were saying that Jonathan has created over 20 unique animatronics, and each of these projects has perfectly shown his commitment and dedication. But we're here to take a look at some of these projects in particular, and that's the Five Nights at Freddy's series. And this series was a very ambitious project. The challenge was to bring the digital horrors of Five Nights at Freddy's to real life. His process? Well, as most of these projects, it all begins with a concept and idea that starts developing into something more. Then this idea becomes an actual design and sketch, which then becomes a journey into finding the right parts to use for the animatronic, and finally getting to assemble all of these parts so they become an actual animatronic that was born from a mere idea. From custom molds to AI-driven behavior patterns, Jonathan's creations aren't just machines. They're characters with stories. Finding the right parts is no minor feat. Many of these parts are custom-made, which makes each animatronic even more special. But of course, there are always problems along the way. Thankfully, Jonathan sees these problems as chances to improve instead of obstacles. Now, for people who want to begin creating animatronics, Jonathan has this advice. Embrace the challenges that come your way. Every mistake is a lesson. Every obstacle, a stepping stone. As for his favorite project, he says it's hard to choose. Every animatronic has its own charm, its own challenges to overcome, its own story to tell. With nearly 8 million fans online, BioMakers is growing, and it looks that his project will continue to grow, and he seriously deserves it. As for the future of BioMakers, enhancing AI interactions, pushing boundaries, and of course, more breathtaking animatronics. For Jonathan, this isn't just about creating lifelike machines. It's about connecting with millions, bridging the gap between fiction and reality, and amazing everyone who comes across his work. You need to check out all his projects. You can find BioMakers on all major platforms, and should give him a follow on all of them. HorrorHaunter UK. It all started with the creator's vivid imagination combined with many things. A ghostly and terrifying journey through ghost trains at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which took him to building worlds in Roller Coaster Tycoon, and then animating the lifeless with Lego stop-motion horror movies. The combination of all these gave him the idea of creating a full horror dark ride, and so work began on this ride. And after keeping it a secret for almost 2 years, they decided to share its progress with the world. And that's how HorrorHaunter UK came to life. This creator's first animatronic was a lunging Reaper. He decided to create it because he wanted to have one of these for his ride, but they were not available or too expensive. So he attached a fake skeleton and programmed all of the movements. Here's where he realized that it was much better to make custom animatronics than using pre-made ones, because this gave him total control over everything they do, and of course, makes them more special and unique. For his dark ride, he sometimes gets inspired by movies, TV, or even games to find characters that he feels will belong in it. That's how he decided he would make his own Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics. The most challenging Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic that he has created was Freddy. This was because the rail system that suspends him and the motors that propel him towards the rider were hard to get right. And he is committed to finishing the original 4 FNAF animatronics. And he's only missing Chica because he has already made Bonnie, and he'll probably reveal this animatronic soon. Every project starts digitally, designed in 3D. Then they are brought to life using EVA foam mats, motors, and meticulous wiring. Each animatronic is more than its parts. It's an experience, taking people on dark rides filled with unexpected surprises. He's always learning, using tools like Arduino and 3D printing to break barriers. HorrorHaunter UK has brought to life 17 animatronics, not counting animated props, that are moved by a single motor. And out of all of these, his favorite is this skeleton with a gun, because it was one of his first horror characters he created for his LEGO stop-motion films. And seeing him live on as an animatronic is a great way to honor his early work. As for advice for new animatronic creators, he recommends starting with an Arduino on breakboard, powered by a USB charger to make some basic controllers, and also investing in a 3D printer, because they are extremely useful for making animatronics and save so much time. Check out his works on YouTube, because he has some amazing projects. Not only does he have several fantastic animatronics in his dark ride, but he also created a Jurassic Park-inspired scare maze that's as impressive as his other projects. Hendrikx Workshop. Now we go to Brazil, where engineer Flavio Hendrikx also brought FNAF to life with several animatronics. It all started with a spark and a fascination with electronics and robots since he was a boy. This was all fueled by iconic films like Lost in Space, and a radio and TV course bought by his father, where he learned a lot about electronics. Since then, he decided that he wanted to learn and then teach and inspire others to follow a technical career. In 2020, he was diagnosed with cancer and given a low chance of surviving. This, of course, made him sad because his original plan was retiring and then building a school to teach kids electronics, mechanics, and robotics. So, with this new challenge, his wife gave him an idea to make videos and upload them to YouTube so people could learn all of this for free. And this is how this project began. Thankfully, he is now cured and excited to continue sharing all of his knowledge for free as a hobby. As for the animatronics he creates, we can say that each one is a journey of precision and imagination. Flavio starts with the eyes, creating detailed replicas based on the pictures or drawings and modeling them in SolidWorks. Every character is adapted meticulously to incorporate the animatronic mechanisms, and finding the right components, servo motors, electronics, mechanical parts is always a challenge, but one that he welcomes. He began bringing FNAF to life after his daughter asked him to build Nightmare Cupcake. So he did, and then proceeded to build Bonnie, Toy Chica, Freddy, and Foxy. And out of all of these, he says that Foxy was the most difficult to create because of the mechanisms for its eye in a small space. It was also the first of these in which he added eyelids. Now he says that with servo motors getting smaller and cheaper, and with all of the information that is available, anybody can build an animatronic, even with a small 3D printer and a few components as opposed to before. Hendrikx Workshop has so many fantastic projects that you need to check out, and you can do so by following him on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Don't miss out. TechnoFur. There's a whole generation of people who became animatronic fans thanks to Five Nights at Freddy's, and TechnoFur is one of them. His original love for the FNAF franchise made him want to learn about real animatronics and their history. So he spent a lot of time researching and learning all about how they worked, and that's how TechnoFur came to life. He started with this project because he wanted to share with people the progress he was making while learning and creating these animatronics. And in this way, he hoped it would inspire them to create their own. It was also a way for him to document all of the progress he is making in this journey. To begin with, he watched several tutorials and videos from creators like Will Cogley and Alex Lab, and of course, basic Arduino tutorials. He also began using 3D softwares like Fusion 360 to design prototypes. Being a FNAF fan and seeing other people making their own animatronics inspired him to create his own spring-lock suits, because he loved this concept, and this is how he began. But his first project proved to be his most challenging one. This was a proto-spring Bonnie that he built with absolutely no previous experience, and with a ridiculously small budget. But thanks to this project, he learned a lot for future ones, like soldering, modeling, sewing, and even programming. As for his favorite, Spring Bonnie. And how could it not be? After all, this animatronic has spring locks inside it. The whole spring lock concept throws a huge wrench at the stability of the suit, and the prototype was flawed because of that. Getting the spring lock stable with that many moving components is no easy task. He says that one thing that makes real-life animatronics so interesting to build is accuracy. Because Five Nights at Freddy's endoskeletons are tubes with ball joints, certainly one very strange design, they are hard to replicate in real life. But once it's figured out, it can really open the door to accurate and functional FNAF animatronics. And now, since he is making a full suit, it is proving to be very hard getting it to stand on its own. Weight distribution, motor torque, and stability definitely make it challenging. His advice for beginners is to jump right in. Get an Arduino kit and dive into tutorials. And also, weight and servo torques, especially in the neck and head. Try to balance your figure's weight so that you can reduce strain on the motors. Servos burn out quickly. You can find TechnoFur on all of these platforms. And be sure to follow him because he let us know that this coming year will be huge for his channel. Don't miss out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to follow all of these creators. And happy Halloween!